In a world where Marvel is slipping, DC is rebooting, and superhero fatigue is almost as popular as Star Wars fatigue, this patch shouldn't work. Yet somehow, this game all about supers has subverted expectations, all while still following the most basic of tropes. How does it find this balance when Hollywood can't seem to anymore? It's all because this patch stuck to the basics that never stopped working. Superhero stories have gotten distracted with the biggest and baddest plot lines writers can come up with. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania screwed up the pacing for Marvel's entire second big storyline by making them face Kang the Conqueror and win, and have almost no consequences for it. Even Marvel seems to have realized beating one variant of their big bad so early on was a mistake, considering they've moved on to Doctor Doom. Every plot is about facing the big bad or saving the multiverse. The characters are taking a back seat to the cinematic chaos. DC hasn't really done much better. The latest Superman movie started as a personal story for Clark, but then got distracted by the big CGI fight at the end. Even for The Batman, a film noir style movie that was all about internal conflict and familial legacy, the story was botched because someone couldn't resist the urge to tack on a second generic finale. The last big superhero movie that was genuinely about the hero's own journey was Spider-Man: Homecoming. Marvel almost kept Thor's story grounded, but it was always in a setting where the stakes were things like a mad titan trying to snap everyone out of existence. Even the personal tragedy of Thanos snapping Loki was drowned out by the next movie. So what does this patch do differently? It shows some restraint. It being a video game inherently makes the story more personal for the audience, and this is helped by it being a choice-based game. However, they could have made it about the superhero spectacle. What is the most talked about aspect of the game? It's the romance. Who will Robert choose, Invisigirl or Blonde Blazer? Or will he not choose anyone? Maybe you'll make multiple saves so he can do it all. Romance is something that is so basic and grounded in the human experience. It doesn't matter that they have powers. It just matters that all of the characters feel genuine. And they do, which is why it's so enticing to play through several times to see all of the possible stories. It's not just the will they won't they that makes the game exciting. The other characters pull their own weight. After Guardians of the Galaxy became a success with its wacky jokes, every movie after was trying to recreate that Marvel humor. And while that worked out sort of well at first, it didn't take long for it to be overdone. Every character needed to make the same kind of jokes at every moment, and every movie needed that one super bizarre character. That then became a whole cast of super bizarre characters making the same jokes all the time and never stopping. On paper, Sonar should be this character for Dispatch. However, he stays just on the right side of the line. Sonar is a half-man, half-bat hybrid that got caught for embezzlement. As a Harvard graduate, he's pretty smart and talks less about being a Harvard graduate than you'd expect. That is, until his strength and intelligence switch up when he transforms. Then he becomes preoccupied with who stole his stapler, which, don't worry, he found it at the gym. Sonar is bizarre. Sonar is funny, but Sonar doesn't overdo it. It helps that each character has their own style of humor. He may have the most Marvel-style jokes that are super random and strange, but because it's only coming from one character instead of the whole cast, it's the perfect level of moderation. Even then, not all of his quips really fall into this Marvel category. Gollum is probably the next most Marvel-like character, at least in terms of humor. But he doesn't feel like an exact copy of Groot, or really even like an exact copy of anyone else on the Z-Team. Another thing that helps Sonar feel fun and refreshing instead of tired and, well, like pretty much all modern superhero characters, is the voice acting. Sonar is voiced by Moist Critical, and for a lot of his lines he has a mostly deadpan style of delivery. This isn't to say that there's no energy or variation in how he speaks, because there is. But keeping the way Sonar speaks so casual really sells that Sonar believes everything he is saying. There's no winking at the audience. Sonar is just doing what he does. It's really common for actors to perform in a way that feels like they are just waiting for the laugh, which makes it really awkward if the joke doesn't land. Dispatch doesn't wait for you to get the joke, they just deliver it. The last major point in favor of Dispatch is the story. While the player gets to control how it ends, every game begins the same way. Robert loses his suit and now has to figure out who he is without it. Most of us don't have a super suit, but it's a pretty universal struggle to figure out where you belong and how you can do something meaningful. That's what's at the core of Dispatch. There's a big climax where the heroes fight the big bad, but the final battle takes a back seat to the characters. Every story point in the finale comes from a character dynamic built during the game, all stemming from this main moral question. There's a reason why it was such a suspenseful moment when the player and characters saw Shroud holding Beef. You'd really all become emotionally invested and become a team. The team picture they take at the end matters because this group of lovable misfits became a strange little found family. It's not really about Robert fighting in a mech suit or the big bad having his own bigger, badder version of the suit. It's all about these characters and how they got to the finale together. Even the possible endings are all based in what choices the player made with Invisigirl. It's all a character-driven story. It may seem extremely basic and obvious that a story is just a culmination of character interactions, and it is. But this is exactly what's been missing from superhero stories. The spectacle doesn't matter as much as the characters that are dealing with it. When it comes to balancing humor, unique characters, and a story that's grounded, Hollywood could take a few notes from Dispatch.